The possibilities of what you can do in your retirement are endless. And here's an option to consider. The never-ending cruise.
I'm going to hum the Love Boat. I'm not going to sing it for you, folks.
Oh, yeah. You're no fun. Turns out it's not just an urban legend. Many people have actually done it. They've retired and lived and gone cruising full time.
Why not?
Why not? I don't know why not. So here's a few examples. One is Lee Wachstetter. She's an 86-year-old Florida widow, and she sold her home and most other stuff. And she has been living aboard a cruise ship for more than 7 years. She says she's done nearly 100 or more cruises since and 15 world cruises since she joined it, since she basically sold everything and took up cruising full time. She loves it. Like, she loves it because she feels like all of her housing is taken care of, all of her eating needs are taken care of, and she just sits on the boat and just goes and like visits all these countries all the time.
Well, it has a few things that she's doing, a few things that many studies indicate will correlate to a very happy retirement. First of all, she's being very social. She talked about how she takes her meals at a table for 8 people, and she meets new people on every cruise. She is intellectually engaged. She goes and sees all these other countries and learns all kinds of new things. I think she said that she spends a lot of her time dancing.
Yeah.
And with doing the dance lessons. So she's physically active. She's learning things. And she is actually able to stay in contact with her family because her family lives in Miami. And every time the boat goes to Miami, she sees her family. And the article indicated that's about 5 times a year. So these are all things that point to someone having a happy retirement, and it's all contained there on a big floating boat.
She estimates it costs her $164,000 a year.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. It's not for everybody.
Well, she's not the only one to do it. There are other 2 widows that we found who had done it. B. Mueller and Claire Macbeth both took up residence on the QE2, and the latter lived on it for 14 years.
Wow.
I don't know. It kind of sounds like a pretty good gig if you have the money and enjoy cruising. Like, these ladies knew that they enjoyed it before they retired.
Yeah, and they when you read the articles, they talk about how they get to see the crew as their family. So, and one of them spends some time doing needlepoint and usually gives it to the crew members. So it's all better than if you were a widow living in a house and apartment all on your own.
And how does it compare to retirement, living in a retirement home, you might wonder? Well, someone did the research. Lee Lindquist at Northwestern's Feinberg School of Medicine compared the cost over a 20-year life expectancy. I assume that means over a 20-year retirement. Is that average, about 20 years?
Yeah, it's about right. Yeah, because
Okay.
most people retire in their mid-60s, and the average person lives to their mid-80s.
So she compared moving to an assisted living facility or a nursing home with a cruise ship. And so including the expenses of acute illnesses, Medicare reimbursement, other factors, there are doctors aboard these cruise ships, by the way. And she determined that the net cost of cruise ship living was only about $2,000 more than the alternative. So she estimated at $230,000 versus $228,000. That has got to be a very teeny tiny room that you're staying in, though.
Yeah. A couple of things I would say about that comparison is, first of all, that's actually pretty high in terms of nursing home care. The average cost around the country is about $90,000. That's a little different than assisted living, but that's a pretty high number. Mm-hmm. Also, very few people are in those types of facilities for that long. But I still think it's pretty interesting. I mean, let's face it, it's not for most people. You don't have that amount of money, but if you have it, it's very similar, right? You're living in a nice little apartment of some kind. Your food is taken care of. There are people there to take care of your healthcare needs. There are social activities like bingo and dancing. It's actually quite similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first woman, she said that like the dancing was a big selling point, like you said. And she actually had been living full time on a previous cruise ship for 3 years, but then they stopped their dancing program, and so she switched cruise ships to a cruise ship that does dancing. It's just so sweet.
It is very sweet.
All right, so would you ever do it? Would you ever retire to a cruise ship?
I wouldn't. My dad actually was a ship chandler, which is someone who supplies ships. He lived in Tampa. They would telex what they needed from him, and he would go out and get it, whether it was food, supplies, tools. I mean, we would go all over Tampa and get whatever they needed, and you'd bring it to the ship. So I've been on many ships in my life. I think I had enough of them. I feel kind of confined being on a ship But I've taken one like full-on cruise. It was fine one time, but I think that's probably it.
Yes.
How about you?
No.
No.
I do like the idea of traveling a lot in retirement.
I could easily see myself being that guy who gets an RV and drives around the country for a year.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. My wife and I talk about that quite a bit.
Oh, that'd be so cute. You two hitting the open road.
That's right. Well, we figure there's a low probability that our kids will all stay here after they graduate from college and start their families, so we'll just have to go to wherever they are. And there are people who do that too. They sell their house, they put the possessions they want to keep in storage, and they buy the RV, which can cost as little as like $20,000, $30,000, and you stay at campgrounds all over the country. It's actually a pretty fun thing to do, and it doesn't cost a lot of money.
I'm more of a destination person than a journey person, so I'm going to let you take that RV, and I'm just going to fly to places.
Gotcha.
All right.
We'll meet up somewhere.
Maybe.
Maybe. Don't count your chickens on that one, buddy.